everyone, I'm Ash from One Up Crochet, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my pattern for these sparkly star Amigurumi pillows. Now, these pillows are made from blanket yarn, specifically Burnett's line of baby blanket sparkle yarn. I love this yarn. Not only is it soft and squishy just like any other blanket yarn you would use, but it sparkles. It sparkles and I love it. It's so cute. Now, of course, you don't have to use specifically baby blanket sparkle yarn for this pattern. You can use any brand of blanket yarn you prefer as long as it's weight 6, super bulky. When finished, this pillow should measure to be around 18 inches tall, which is the perfect size to be a decorative throw pillow. And the best part about this project, you only need one new skein of blanket yarn to finish this project. So with that being said, go ahead and grab your yarn and let's get started. So for this project, you are going to want a pair of scissors, about 5 or 6 stitch markers, a yarn needle for sewing, although this project will have minimal sewing, a crochet hook, and of course, you'll want to start with a fresh, brand new skein of blanket yarn. Now for this particular project, we're going to be using a K-hook, which is a 6.5 millimeter hook, which is approximately 1.5 millimeters smaller than what's recommended on the yarn label. Speaking of the yarn label, here's the label for Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle, in case anyone's interested in what this label looks like if you want to go out and shop for it yourself. As you can see on the label here, it recommends a 8 millimeter crochet hook, but anytime with amigurumi, it's always a good rule of thumb to go at least 1 to 1.5 or even 2 millimeters smaller than the recommended hook size on the label. That way you get those nice, tight, neat looking stitches with no gaps so that your stuffing doesn't show through. So let's go ahead and begin round 1. Round 1 calls to work 8 single crochet stitches in a magic circle or a magic ring. And just a quick tip here, if you're someone who's like me who struggles with the magic ring, there are some days when I can pull it off, some days I can't. So here's a alternative way you can start working in the round. Make your slip knot, put it over your hook, and chain 2. Now what you'll do is you'll work into this loop of your first chain, because it's actually the adjustable part in your slip knot here. We can pull that out just a little bit and you'll actually work, let me zoom this in a bit, you'll actually work into this first loop from the first chain. So we'll go ahead, we'll work 8 single crochet into that loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now go ahead and grab that tail from your slip knot and gently pull it tight, and you'll notice that this loop will close in on itself just as you would with a magic ring. There you go, it's all closed up. And we can move on to round 2. Ta-da! For round 2, we're going to do an increase in each stitch in the round, and that should give you a stitch count of 16. I'm going to go ahead, use one of my stitch markers here. I'm going to place it in the last stitch of the first round. And now we'll work an increase into each stitch of the round. Okay, moving on to round 3. In round 3, we will do 1 single crochet, then increase, and repeat those steps exactly 8 times all throughout the round, and that will give us a stitch count of 24 stitches. So we'll do 1 single crochet, increase in the next stitch, and then repeat until the end of the round. Okay, moving on to round 4. For round 4, we are going to do 1 single crochet, then increase in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet, and repeat that step exactly 8 times in the round. So what we'll do is we'll go 1 single crochet, increase in the next stitch, pull out some more yarn here, and 1 single crochet. And we will repeat that sequence all the way throughout the round. We should repeat it 8 times. So 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet, and then that will give us 32 stitches in the round. Okay, so moving on to round 5. For round 5, we're going to do 3 single crochet, then an increase in the next stitch, and we'll repeat that sequence 8 times throughout the round. And that should give us 40 stitches in the round. So there's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, and an increase. And we'll go ahead and repeat that to the end of the round, and we'll get 40 stitches in the round. Okay, moving on to round 6. So for round 6, we'll do 2 single crochet, then an increase in the next stitch, and then 2 more single crochet, and we will repeat that sequence exactly 8 times throughout the entire round. So we'll do 2 single crochet, there's 1, 2 single crochet, an increase, then 1 and 2 single crochet. Go ahead and repeat that to the end of the round. Okay, on to round 7. For round 7, we will do 5 single crochet, then increase in the next stitch. Repeat that sequence 8 times throughout the round, and that should yield a stitch count of 56 stitches. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, 4 single crochet, 5 single crochet, and an increase. Then repeat that sequence till the end of the round. Okay, moving on to round 8. So in round 8, we will do 3 single crochet, an increase in the next stitch, and then 3 single crochet. Then repeat that sequence 8 times total throughout the round, and that will yield a total of 64 stitches in the round. So we'll go ahead and do 1, 2, 3 single crochet, and increase in the next stitch, and 3 single crochet, and then we'll repeat that sequence throughout the round. Okay, now moving on to round 9. For round 9, we're going to do 7 single crochet, then an increase in the next stitch, and then we will repeat that sequence 8 times throughout the whole round, and that will yield a total of 72 stitches in the round. So we'll go ahead and do 7 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then an increase, and then repeat that sequence to the end of the round. Okay, on to round 10, which is going to be the last round for the star centerpiece. For round 10, we will do 4 single crochet, then an increase in the next stitch, then 4 single crochet. We'll repeat that sequence 8 times throughout the whole round, and that will yield a total of 80 crochet stitches in the round. So again, we'll do 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet, an increase, and 4 single crochet, 2, 3, and 4. And again, just repeat that sequence a total of 8 times through the round, and you should get 80 stitches in the round. Okay, that is the end of round 10. That was the last round to finish off the star centerpiece. Let me go ahead and zoom out here to see if I can get a little bit more of that in the frame. There we go. Okay, it's sizing it pretty good so far. We got a nice big round here. So we're gonna go ahead and finish off. Before we do though, it's safe to go ahead and do one more stitch count check just to make sure we have a total of 80 stitches in the round. That's important. We want to make sure we have exactly 80 here. And once you've done that, what we'll do to finish this off is we will just make a slip stitch here. And you can go ahead and remove your stitch marker. So yes, just make a slip stitch, pull that through, snip off your yarn here, pull this through, and we can leave this loose, that's fine. And you have finished your first star centerpiece. Now, we're gonna go ahead and make a second one of these. As you get to the end of your second round, do not finish it off. We wanna leave that on the hook. Okay, so here we have 2 finished center star pieces. Here's the first one we made. This one has been finished off. The second one has not been finished off. It's still on our hook. Now, in order to form this star, we're going to end up crocheting both of these 2 pieces together and then crocheting each star point in sections. So, for each star point, we're going to be dividing these rounds up into 5 sections, 16 stitches a piece. So the way we're going to do this is we'll take our second star centerpiece here, the one that's still on our hook, and we're going to be dividing it up into sections of 16 stitches. So we're going to pick up our second star piece, the one that has not been finished off, that still has our stitch marker, and we're going to start counting our sections of stitches. We'll start here, we'll start counting here in the next stitch from the last stitch in this last round, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And what we're going to do is take a stitch marker and place it into that 16th stitch. And then we have our first section. To make the next section, we'll start counting in the next stitch over from the stitch that has our stitch marker, and we'll count 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We'll grab that stitch and we'll place our stitch marker into that 16th stitch. And we're going to continue to do that until we have all 5 sections marked off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And you'll find that the stitch marker that was still in place from the last round of the last row, that will serve as the last 16th stitch. So there we have our round sectioned off into 5 separate sections, 16 stitches apiece. Our next step is to take our other centerpiece here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our sectioned piece and our non-sectioned piece, and we're going to kind of sandwich these together and lie one on top of the other. So let's take our unsectioned piece, we're going to flip it over so that the wrong side is facing up, so that essentially the V's of our stitches are facing away from us, facing down towards the table. We'll take our sectioned piece, bring it over, and just lie it on top of the unsectioned piece. Now what we'll do is we're going to now section off the unsectioned piece into 16 stitches a piece, just like we have the top centerpiece here. What we'll do is we'll take a stitch marker. It can be any stitch marker, it doesn't have to be any one in particular. Go ahead and unlock it and place it on any stitch on the star center that's on the bottom. Now what we'll do is we're going to section it off in the same way that we sectioned off the first one, by counting 16 stitches and then placing the next stitch marker into the 16th stitch. So we'll go ahead and start here. Here's our stitch marker. We'll count the next stitch over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So let's take the stitch marker here on the top piece. We'll unlock it and place it right into that 16th stitch. Now we have 2 sections that are 16 stitches apiece. We're going to do that for each of the other sections here, so that we have both sides marked 16 pieces for each section. I'm sorry, 16 stitches for each section. Okay, now we have each star piece joined together and sectioned off the 16 stitches in each section. So now we're going to continue crocheting. Let's pick up where we left off here on this centerpiece that has not been finished off. We'll go ahead and put our work back on our hook. And this is going to begin round 11. Now for round 11, what we'll do is we're going to do all single crochets here. We're going to single crochet 16 stitches down to where we've marked here, 16 stitches on one side. And then what we'll do is we're going to turn our work and flip over. And then we're going to start crocheting onto the other star piece. So we're just going to flip our work, pick up over here, and do 16 more single crochet stitches across the other side and join back up over here. And essentially what that's going to do is make this section its own round. And then we'll be working in the round until we form our first star point. So let's flip back over here, get my yarn untangled. And we'll go ahead and start round 11. So what we'll do, let's go ahead and do 16 single crochet. So there's 2 single crochet, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so here we are at that stitch marker that's placed into our 16th stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook it, pull it out of that 16th stitch, and place our single crochet stitch there. So there is our first section of 16 stitches. Now what we'll do is we're going to flip our work, and what we'll do here is go ahead and place your hook where that stitch marker was. So this is our first single crochet stitch on the other side. So we're going to work 16 stitches from here to here. So here's our first stitch. It's our first single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, oh, running short on yarn, and 16. Now your 16th stitch should end right before this stitch marker that's over here in the next section. So now we have 16 stitches on this side, 16 stitches on this side. What we'll do is turn our work again. We'll come back over here, insert your hook into the stitch right next to your stitch marker here. This was the first single crochet we made on this side. And let's just place a single crochet stitch there. And that is the stitch we are going to mark as the last stitch for round 11. So now we have a whole other round that we're going to be working here. We'll go ahead and do a stitch count. You want to make sure that you want to have 32 stitches in total, 16 from this side, 16 from this side, for a total of 32. And that makes up round 11. So for round 12, we're just going to do a single crochet in every stitch in this round, and we're going to start to build this up, and it's going to form our first start point. So let's go ahead and do our round of all single crochets. Okay, that completes round 12. So now our last two rows here have just been nothing but single crochets. Round 11, single crochets around, round 12, single crochets around. You should still have 32 stitches in the round. Now we'll go ahead and start round 13. For round 13, we're going to do 14 single crochets and then decrease and repeat that sequence 2 times in the round. And that should take us down to 30 stitches in the round. Okay, moving on to round 14. For round 14, we're going to do 4 single crochet, then a decrease, then 4 more single crochet. You'll repeat that sequence exactly 3 times in the round, and that should bring you down to 27 stitches in the round. Okay, moving on to round 15. For round 15, we're going to do 7 single crochet, then a decrease. You'll repeat that sequence 3 times in the round, and that should bring us down to 24 stitches in the round. On to round 16. For round 16, we're going to do 3 single crochet, then a decrease, then 3 more single crochet. You'll repeat this sequence a total of 3 times in the round, and that will bring us down to a total of 24 stitches in the round. I'm sorry, not 24 stitches, 21 stitches in the round. For round 17, we'll do 5 single crochet, then a decrease, and you'll repeat that 3 times in the round, and that will bring us down to a total of 18 stitches in the round. For round 18, we're going to do 2 single crochet, then a decrease, then 2 more single crochet. You'll repeat this sequence a total of 3 times throughout the round, and that should bring us down to a total of 15 crochet stitches in the round. Now on to row 19. For round 19, we're going to do 3 single crochet, then a decrease. You'll repeat that sequence exactly 3 times in the round, and that should bring us down to a total of 12 stitches in the round. Okay, we're getting close to the end of our star point. It's starting to look kind of triangular, huh? Okay, now we are on round 20. For round 20, we are going to do 1 single crochet, then a decrease, then 1 single crochet. You'll repeat that sequence exactly 3 times in the round, and that will bring us down to a total of 9 stitches in the round. Okay, we're getting close to the end here. So for round 21, we're going to do 1 single crochet, then decrease, and repeat that sequence a total of 3 times in the round, and that will bring us down to 6 stitches in the round. Okay, so here we are. We're on the last round, round 22. As of right now, we have 6 stitches in the round here. Things are gonna start getting kinda tight. But for the last round, on round 22, we're gonna decrease a total of 3 times to bring it down to 3 stitches. Like I said, things might get kinda tight here. Just do the best you can. And then once we get down to those last 3 stitches, we can close this off. So here's 1 decrease. Here's our second decrease. And then our last decrease here. Hopefully I can get my hook into that last stitch. Like I said, sometimes things here at the last row can get pretty tight. There we go, we got it. Okay, and that is the last round of this star point. See? Now we're basically gonna do this 4 more times to get a total of 5 points, and you can kind of see already how that's going to form a star shape. So what we'll do, go ahead and take your scissors here. We're going to cut this off, leave a little bit of a tail to leave enough room for sewing. We'll go ahead and finish this off, pull it through here. Take your yarn needle, and we are just going to close off the end of this star point. It's already pretty narrow, but we want to make sure we close it off nice and tight. Go ahead and run it through those last loops, that last round. And we'll go ahead and pull that tight to close it off, make it nice and snug. And then just run your tail here through the inside of the amigurumi just to hide that tail. To pull it through the inside, and then just go ahead and cut that off, and there we have a finished first star point of our star pillow. Okay, so now we are going to start on making our second star point. We're going to start over here on the left hand side of the first star point we made. What we'll do is we're going to pick up our piece here, take a look, and find that first V, that first single crochet stitch to the left of our star point here, which is right here. Go ahead and insert your hook through that first stitch, and just to make sure that that is the correct stitch, we want to count here over to make sure that this stitch marker resting in the last stitch of this section is our 16th stitch. So here we have our first stitch on our hook. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, so we do have that stitch marker resting in our 16th stitch, so that'll be the end of this first section here. So what we'll do is we'll take our yarn, we're going to attach it to our piece with your hook inserted here into that first stitch. Grab the yarn with your hook and pull it through, and then kind of secure the yarn back here, this yarn tail, with your fingers as you're holding onto your piece. Just kind of hold it nice and tight so it doesn't slip through. What we'll do here is we'll make a single chain. Go ahead and make a chain stitch just like that. Now this chain is going to count as our first stitch in this section of 16, and what I want to do here, just so that when we come back around, so that I can visibly see and know that that is our first stitch on the other side, I'm going to place a stitch marker right there. Sometimes with this blanket yarn, with it being so fuzzy, it's kind of hard to see and differentiate between stitches, and that just kind of helps me keep things in order here. Okay, so this is our first stitch in this section, so we're going to go ahead and keep doing a single crochets all the way over to our 16th stitch in this stitch marker. So let's go ahead and pick our yarn back up here. Now, one thing we can do to secure this yarn tail, you can either sew it in, or what I like to do to just kind of make things easy here, we'll hold onto it back behind these V's. Now as we're crocheting along here, go ahead and insert your hook into the next stitch. While you're still holding on to this yarn tail back here, we're going to crochet around it. And what I mean by that is go ahead and insert your hook and just kind of yarn over as you normally would, and that is going to effectively kind of wrap that yarn around the yarn back here. You'll see what I mean as we keep going. So go ahead and do your crochet stitch there, your single crochet. We'll move into our next single crochet. Just kind of watch as this yarn tail is hanging out back here. It's kind of essentially getting crocheted into and like wrapped around our stitches so that it's nice and anchored down and secure. Just like that. We're just kind of working around that yarn tail. And now it's nice and secure and it's not going to pull out of our work. I'm not sure exactly what this technique is called, but I picked up on it some time ago while watching some Amigurumi tutorial videos on YouTube. I wish I could recall who it was so that I could cite them, but I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But yeah, there we go. See, that tail has pretty much disappeared. It's right kind of crocheted and secured into the back of these single crochet stitches here. It's nice and secure. So we'll keep going here all the way to our 16th stitch. Unhook this stitch marker. Okay. I'm going to do a quick count here just to make sure I have 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, very good. So we have our first section of 16 stitches here. We're going to flip around. Find that stitch marker still back here. You should have 16 stitches right here in this section. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our hook to that same stitch as that stitch marker. We can go ahead and pull that out. So there is one single crochet. We're going to count to 16 just to make sure. 1, 2, 15, and there is, as you can see, let me try to hold it up a little better here. There's that last V of that last stitch. There's our 16th stitch in this section. So we'll go ahead and put our single crochet stitch there. Okay, so now we have 16 single crochet on this side, 16 on this side. Here's our stitch marker. So what I'll do is I'll come back around. That is going to be our last stitch in this round. Bring my hook around here. I'll place a single crochet stitch there, and I want this to be the last stitch in our round. And that finishes off round 11 for the second star point that we're going to make. So what you'll do at this point is you'll go ahead and continue on with rounds 12 through 22 to form the second star point here. Go ahead and finish that off. You'll start on the next section here to make the third point, and then repeat again for the fourth point, and I will pick up with you from there. Okay, so our star pillow is really starting to take shape here. Now, once you have finished the fourth star point, now's a good time to stop, take a moment, and go ahead and open up the inside here. This is a great time to go ahead and start stuffing. Get the body of the star completely filled, and then as you continue to crochet in the round here and close up your star while making that fifth star point, just stuff as you go to make sure it all gets a nice good amount of stuffing. So one thing you may notice as you are stuffing your star pillow here, between each of the star points, you are likely to have these holes that are forming, and that is okay. So while we're stuffing, what we'll do is we'll take a nice, semi-long piece of your blanket yarn here, cut it off, grab your yarn needle, thread that through, and all we gotta do to close these up is just take a little bit of yarn in our yarn needle and sew this closed. As you're working along and coming up to the end of that 5th star point, just make sure you keep stuffing as you go, and then close it off. Once it's all closed off, you are pretty much done. And now you have your very own completed star amigurumi pillow. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you were able to complete your own star pillow, let me know in the comments below, as well as tagging me in social media. I'd love to see what you guys are making. For more amigurumi patterns and tutorials, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.